Pinup with another episode of York and Spoon. Today I'm going to make almond milk. And there are a million videos out there on how to make almond milk or nut milk, but I still get asked this question a lot, so I thought I would go ahead and make it anyway. It's really easy. You do need a couple tools. So we're going to use a high-speed blender today. I've never tried it in a regular blender, but I'm sure you could do it. You would just want to blend it probably a little bit longer. And we are going to need a nut milk bag. So mine is well used. It's starting to stain green. I sometimes use it to strain green juice as well. But we are going to need that. If not, you could use a couple layers of cheesecloth down in a strainer and serve the same purpose. But this is only maybe $5 at a health food store or on Amazon. So you can reuse it over and over again. I would invest in one if you think you're going to make this even more than one time. So what we're going to do is add almonds. So I've been soaking these almonds in water. You want to do that for at least 4 hours. Almonds are a little bit harder, so this is going to soften them up and make them easier to blend. Now, it is completely optional to peel the almonds, but if you want to, it's really easy. Once they've been soaking, the skin gets really soft. So you can just pinch it between your fingers and the skin comes off and you're left with the nut. So you could do that on all your almonds. I don't, because I'm gonna be straining it anyway. It does make it a little more white colored and it's kind of fun. Sometimes they go flying across the room if you do a whole batch, but I don't usually do that. It's an extra step and I'm lazy sometimes. So we're gonna drain the water though. You do wanna pop the skins off underwater. It makes it a little easier, but we don't wanna use this liquid. We're gonna drain it off and then we're gonna add fresh water into our blender. So this is 1 cup of raw almonds. I keep looking around. I'm sure that at some point you are going to see a cat pop up into one of these videos. There are 6 of them running around here. And sometimes they're at my feet and I'm sure they will make a guest appearance for you someday. Add that to the blender. And then I have here 4 cups of fresh water. I'm going to show you some optional ingredients. I'm not using any of them today. And the reason for that is I'm going to use this milk this week in both some sweet and savory recipes. So I don't want to make it sweet. I'm not going to add vanilla, but you could. I have some beautiful vanilla beans here. And I actually just snip off about 1 inch or so of the bean and blend it right in. It smells so good. But you could use liquid vanilla as well. Also a pinch of salt. I usually do as well, just a pinch. It helps bring out the flavor, especially if you're using sweet as well. And then also optional is dates. So if I was going to make this sweet, if I knew I was going to use this only in my lattes all week long, I would probably add about 4 fresh dates. These ones look a little dry, and that's because I have I think a 50-pound container of dates in my fridge right now. So I've been keeping these refrigerated. If you were going to use them, I would put them in the water with the almonds and soak them right along with the almonds so they get nice and soft as well and blend a little smoother. So just almonds and water, it's that simple. I bring this in glass jars to my coffee shop instead of paying 60 extra cents to get soy, which is usually full of all kinds of junk, or some places offer almond, or even one place here offers hemp milk, which is great that they offer that. But I know that all that is in my milk is almonds and water, or vanilla and dates, but still a beautiful ingredient list. So we're gonna blend this, and the cool thing about if you bring this into most coffee shops, you probably didn't know they do this, is they won't charge you an upcharge. So it's actually cheaper, I think, because they're not charging me for any milk. They just charge me for like an espresso or something. So my coffees are cheaper and I have great milk. So we're gonna blend this until it's nice and smooth, but we are gonna strain it, so it doesn't need to be perfectly smooth. Okay, we have nice and creamy almond milk. Almonds do require straining, so I'm going to take this bowl, which is actually a pancake batter bowl that I'm not sure I have ever used for pancakes. I don't make those very often. So So it just fits over the bowl really nicely, but you could do this over any container that you have. And then we're gonna pour the liquid through the strainer. And it's called a nut milk bag because you'll see, we're gonna kind of milk it like you would milk a cow. So now I'm gonna pull this off of my container and lift it up. And you'll see the milk is coming out the bottom, and you're just gonna kind of squeeze. And we wanna squeeze from the top down. Otherwise, we're gonna get milk coming up above our hand, which I'm not perfect at and may happen a little bit, but we wanna try to have as little of a mess as possible. And we're just gonna continue squeezing down until it's not giving us much liquid anymore. And there are a lot of great videos and recipes out there. If you don't want to throw away this almond pulp, you can use it in recipes, usually things like cookies or as a binder for black bean burgers perhaps, especially if you didn't add vanilla and sweet ingredients to your milk. And you can also just dry it out and save it as almond flour to use in recipes later. So I'm twisting as I go, if you've never used a nut milk bag before. You could also get creative and add things like cocoa powder and make a nice chocolate milk. I sometimes even add green tea powder. So we're almost there. And this will make almost 4 cups depending on how diligent you are with your milking here. And so I just have a nice container that's perfect for one recipe of milk. And we're almost there. I'm gonna do a little bit more when I'm done here, but I want to show you. So this is my container that I use for my milk. And this is perfect because it has a spout, that's why I use this. And you have a beautiful, smooth, creamy milk. And a messy hand. But there you go. That's how simple it is to make homemade almond milk. Also wanted to tell you, if you don't want to go through that whole straining step, start with cashew or hemp seeds. Those are a little higher fat, so they're creamier, and they will blend smooth enough in the blender that you don't need to go through this extra step. So it's a really quick way to practice and just see how you like nut milk perhaps before trying out almond milk. So thank you for watching today. Please find me on Facebook and Instagram and give this a thumbs up if you like the video. Thanks.